Hello, hello, Jamaal Rashad coming to you today from Dutch's Daughters, Frederick, Maryland. Today I'm with Pat Leibly. Say hello.
Hi.
And today we're at episode 31 of the ValorLives interview series. So, just like always, no interviews over 10 minutes, raw, uncut, one take, no special lighting, no special effects. But why do I do what I do? Number one, because there's successful people who deserve to have their stories told. Number two, to let you know you could go out there with a camera phone and a selfie stick and impact your community. And number three, because people need to hear successful stories so they could feel, sorry about that, so they could feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Inspired. There you go. So this was a horrible intro, but you know what? It's all good. So, Pat, why do you do what you do?
As far as working for the South Mountain Group?
Everything, yes.
Okay, well, my daughter started the company 11 years ago, and I had just retired from Frederick County government. And a few months after I retired, she recruited me. And I thought it would be fun to work with my daughter and see her as an adult person, not just as my grown-up kid, but to see her in her own world, which is starting a business and how she organized that business. And that's really been special to me. The 11 years I've been working part-time for her is to see how she's grown as an adult.
Okay, so one of the cardinal rules in business, or sometimes, is you don't mix business and family. So talk to me about how is it working for your daughter? Do you ever do the, hey, I'm your mom and we're going to do it this way, or how does that work?
No, she is the president owner and I work for her. And sometimes I offer ideas if she asks me, and sometimes she accepts my ideas and sometimes she doesn't. And if she doesn't, then that's okay, because she's the final decision maker. And I respect what she does. I think she's a very smart young woman. She has a lot of entrepreneurial skills. She has a lot of marketing ideas. And I always respect the viewpoints that she has.
Okay. Well, she obviously comes from good stock.
Well, thank
so,
you.
Congratulations. So, your husband George.
Yes.
How long have you guys been married?
54 years.
Okay. That's longer than I've been alive.
Yes.
So kudos to you guys. So what would be one of your number one tips? I'm sure there's more than one tips, but at the top of your head, your number one tips for a successful marriage.
Well, I think patience is part of it, and I think knowing that there will be ups and downs. Sometimes when people get married, they think, oh, it's like a fairy tale, I'm going to live happily ever after. You don't really live happily ever after. You do in a sense, but not in a fairy tale sense, because you're with another person, you have different ideas, and you have to work out those ideas. When you're raising children, you have different ideas on how the children should be raised. There's always things that happen in life, and being able to work through them and know that it does take work, and it takes sometimes being disagreeable with each other. But I think one thing that has saved our marriage is we've never called each other names, and we've never cussed at each other. No matter how upset we might be and how much we've raised our voices, we do not cuss at each other and call each other names. So I think that's been an important thing.
I'm trying to picture you actually raising your voice.
Oh my gosh.
Yes?
Yes, I can raise my voice.
Well, speaking of raising your voice, I might need to get you to talk a little bit louder during this interview. So, travel. Where are some of the places that you have traveled to?
Well, in our married life, shortly after we were married, we moved from New Jersey to California, so we drove cross-country, and we made cross-country trips several times while we lived there. And then, so when we lived in California, we explored different places out there. We've been to Arizona, New Mexico, been through a lot of states.
How about overseas?
Overseas, we've been to London twice and to Italy once. George was in Italy several times because of his job, so he's been there more than I have, but that's all we've been overseas.
Okay, so a little bit back to the title industry. What has been the proudest moment of your career so far working for your daughter at South Mountain?
just seeing how she has grown her business and how she manages the business. That's the best moment.
Okay. And you guys are in a couple different states, correct? So, what states, if you can remember all of them, because I know there's a bunch. So, just name me the 5 or 6 states that you guys are licensed in.
Well, we're in about 31 different
Okay.
states, but for this area, people might like to know that we're in Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia, District of Columbia, and Pennsylvania, plus most of the East Coast, many states in the Midwest and in the West.
Okay. 31 states, so just about anything you need, right?
Right.
Okay, so what has been one of the low moments of your career so far?
Well, I think for many in this industry, when the housing market dropped a few years ago and the price of homes went down and people couldn't sell their homes, buy their homes, so more getting refinancing went down because of the value of the home being less than what the mortgage was. So that's probably been the low point, not only for the South Mountain Group, but for all title companies, real estate companies, and mortgage companies.
Okay. So you're a grandmother,
Yes, I am.
and how many grandkids do you have?
7.
7. Okay. So what do the grandkids call you? Like, for instance, I have this theory. Every single grandparent I've ever met, there's always 2 syllables. It's Nana or Papa or Mimi or whatever. So what is yours?
Grandma.
They all just call you Grandma?
They all call me Grandma. My oldest granddaughter sometimes shortens that to Grandma, Granma.
Okay.
But Grandmom is kind of my name.
Really?
Mhm.
So no special nickname?
No,
How about George?
Grandpa.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That's so interesting.
Pretty traditional,
Yeah,
isn't it?
extremely traditional. I was not expecting that at all. Interesting. Okay, so what book are you currently reading, or audio are you currently listening to if you're an audiobook type?
I don't like audiobooks. My mind tends to wander.
Okay.
I like to feel a book in my hand, so I
Okay.
don't read on Kindle. I just finished The Rainbow Comes and Goes by Anderson Cooper and his mother, Gloria Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Which was very interesting to learn about her life, because we always think of her, oh, this rich woman has everything, but to learn about her life as she was growing up was very interesting, and her relationship with her son, and how her husband died when
Mhm.
Anderson was 10 years old. His older brother committed suicide. It was just very interesting to learn more about these famous people, because we have one image of them, especially Anderson Cooper when he's on CNN
Mhm.
doing his show.
Right.
And to read about him as a person and his relationship with his mother was very interesting.
Okay. Do you have a morning habit? Something you do every morning to get your day started successfully?
Well, I don't like to rush in the morning. So when I get up, I like to take my time, get my breakfast, read the newspaper, have a cup of coffee, and then I have a few little exercises that I do. And so when I come to an early meeting like the Real Estate Coffee Connection,
Mhm.
I have to get up super early because I still have to go through my routine of having my breakfast, reading the newspaper, because I don't like to feel rushed.
Okay. Do you? So last question. Do you have a daily habit, something you do every day, and if you don't do it, your day doesn't feel the same? Like, for instance, some people it's praying, meditating, stretching, yoga, smoothie, something.
It's just my breakfast routine.
Okay,
Getting up and being leisurely.
Okay.
when
Do you
I-
usually have the same thing for breakfast every day, or you usually change it?
No, I have the same thing every morning, and even if I'm going out for breakfast later, I still have a little bit of my normal everyday breakfast.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll let you keep that secret to yourself.
Okay.
So, for our viewers out there, how can they get a hold of the South Mountain Title Group?
We have a website, www.southmountaintitle.com. You can reach me, Pat, P-A-T, at southmountaintitle.com. My cell phone is 301-305-6502.
All right, well, thank you very much. Today, my friend Pat and ValorLives interview series, episode number 31. So go out there, show some valor. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.